are. And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe here and back, about to continue in the wondrous world of Heroes of Dreams. We, last time we was in this series was in the big anniversary book there, pretty much like, the big Infinity War in game of all there. But much like the MCU, there was an attempt to go further with this series, even past that, and make it even, and as it got further, become even bigger, which it kind of is. Uh, however, as a in a way, which even with the anniversary book, it was like I say, it is one thing to go big. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you can overdo it a little bit there, or either maybe not so much overdo it. Maybe a lot of it depends on the direction you take with it and how that direction goes there. In some cases, you can't see that until you got to a certain point there. Like I say, another reason I use the MCU as an example because, well, obviously, like a lot of people, really try to jump in on that there. But also, um, not saying that the MCU's, movies now are bad or anything. Because I mean, we saw Captain America with the Miracle Crew and everything. The Sam Wilson one, um, and I still, it'll be a while, but I do still plan to see the Thunderbolts and some of the other stuff that we did see Fantastic Four, but I guess the Thunderbolts I missed that one, but I do plan to see it, and of course what they got coming next. So, but yeah, a lot of that was because they were trying to follow so many characters they introduced. So yeah, that kind of happened. Kind of experienced that even with this here. But we're about to find out what would this have possibly went to. This is the what if segment of Heroes of Dreams. That's why I decided to um, title this with these last. This is book 11. Then there's also a book 12. And on top of that, the what were the plans to, as far as like what stories were going to come from this, as well as spin-offs and stuff like that. Um, yeah, what all would have came there, and what other works were planned there. And also, yeah, we had the Reality and Imagination series too that had like its first two books right before the big anniversary book of Heroes of Dream and kind of crossed over into this. So, which that was more of a prequel, but yeah, it was even still going to continue. But like I say, things kind of yeah, I think a lot of things kind of shifted immediately after book 12 was made into making the Star Trek comic series. And there was something there was actually a different plan for that, but like I say, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So let's go into here first, then book 12, and then we'll find out what was going to come after. And it's possible that I've already read, talked about, kind of sort of read through it, because the one thing about it, comic books are a little bit harder to do in this type of setup, especially for a live stream, than say reading a novel there. But hey, we'll see. I want to see what I can do as far as maybe doing like a redo of it there, kind of following from this there, and who knows what else. And then I know I also want to definitely read some other books to you guys, that, of course, from other authors there that I have around here that I really did enjoy growing up. So, um, but yeah, like I say, but let's kick it off with this here. Um, so Heroes of Dreams, Book 11, Little and Big Surprises. Continuing right from the anniversary book there. Yeah, got a big rocket, got a little fairy here, and a hamster, and a couple of frog cowboys. Like, who are those? Well, we're going to read and find out first. Just after Backbyte and Warptag were defeated, another dimension was open, causing changes and some new forces to come through. The question is, are they friends, foe, or something more? Find out in this exciting new adventure as season two begins. So yeah, this was supposed to be season two beginning, and it was gonna go on to like I don't know how many seasons I had planned, but yeah, it was. I definitely did have pretty big plans with this when I started continuing there. Yeah. Matter of fact, I remember the nose character that cameoed in the anniversary book. Now, of course, he went back to his own thing. What his author Antonio had planned for him and everything after his one-time cameo appearance. But there was even going to be at one point I actually had planned for him not so much to like pop back up for a big time thing, but like a mention there where maybe they tried to contact the dimension he was in and and then you get a glimpse of what's going on back in his world there, and seeing that he was okay and everything. But that didn't but yeah, then um he didn't quite want to do that there. It's pretty much just okay, Nose and done his thing and now that's it. Um and trying to get some other things, going with Nose there, along with a friend of his who was after that point trying to put Nose in a whole different direction there. Um, Pretty much, yeah. So, yes, kind of stuff like that, sort of, and yeah, over time they sort of changed the whole thing with Nose, sort of like how I've gone from this to the other stuff that I've gotten into, like the Star Trek comic books, and now the Yumiko novel series, stuff like that. So yeah, now we this explains how the whole multiverse sagas get started with in so many ways, Marvel, DC, and even other stuff outside of that. So yeah, now we know how the multiverse starts. All right, so welcome to season two from King Gabe. And I guess whoever's coming in and out must be waiting for me to start this book here. So, all right, so welcome to season two. And I also got to show y'all the picture on the back here. Um, Notice I didn't put the notice you don't see the head of this character. Probably like a mob boss merman with a catfish instead of a cat. Almost like the claw from Inspector Gadget. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. Then you got the Masked Angel that was from the anniversary book. Star Striker. There's the fairy again there. And they got the hamster here, and looks like probably can recognize this character from the Star Trek comic books there, Angela. So yeah, Angela actually had appeared in Heroes of Dream before the Star Trek comics there. So and you got Power Play over here, aka Bruno. So yes. So starts off with this little, and of course you got who's my mom and Christina, proof and edited the usual, and it's a picture of me typing our story at the library of all places. There, hmm. Hello readers, as you can type a book, and I noticed the read is almost like a PBS show. Oh, hello there. Well, I guess I'm Mr. Rogers now. Oh, hello, neighbor. How are you doing today? Well, as you could probably imagine from the previous books, 1 through 10, and the season 1 anniversary movie book, this series has gotten a lot involved in a lot of adventures from the start. These adventures began with with one kid named Samuel becoming Star Striker in order to battle crooks, bullies, and a snake woman named Sia. Then he teamed up with another kid named Brian, also known as Target, to stop a bad breath dinosaur man named Rexon and his three followers, Flora, Pumo, and Racker. Yep, Flora. In case y'all missed out when I read book two of Heroes of Dream, yeah, that was the first time that the character was in named Flora. That was the first time I used that, but it's obviously not the same Flora from the Yumiko novel series. There, Flora. Next star, excuse me. Next, Star and Target helped the psychic samurai Sword Girl, who is known as Shuli Yukoshi, to face her evil cousin Kyoji, who's known as Kappa Blade, and his ninja army called the Kappa Clan. Star and Target also rescued a mermaid named Bubblina, the princess of the ocean Atlantis, from a wacky kid scientist called Silly Willy Dilly. Bubblina created herself a human disguised as Melody Lee Scott. After all of that, the magician Vanham X, also known as Calvin Waynes, teamed up with our four heroes in order to defeat his evil father and the Egyptian lowercase g god Benubian to stop them from enslaving the entire earth, world, just as the Pharaoh of Egypt did to Israel in the Old Testament, the book of Exodus. Star, Target, Sword Girl, Bubblina, and Venom X became a team known as the Dream League because they are the heroes you can only dream of. They accepted Christ they into their lives and was given a guardian angel named Hero, a robotic spider named Hastum, a base known as the Hero Tree, and continued their heroic crime fighting adventures. They also foiled the plans of Anthony Westwood after he became a mutant octopus called Octorus, along with his minions and robotic tentacles and animals. The Dream League added a few new members to their team. These members included a speedster named Dashtail, known as Riley Jones, and his sister Zoe when she discovered she was a Lamoose known as Sunrisha, the president of Sky Atlantis. However, the biggest adventure so far is they teamed up with a group of heroes called the Conquerors and protected Shreveport and the rest of the world when they were kids in a cameo from another dimension named Robert Hill, who everyone calls Nose. All of them had to stop a cosmic being called Backbyte and his sidekick Warptag from using the gravity straw to rule the world. However, this is just the beginning for the Dream League. Then Samuel and Naomi enter. Samuel's like, Mr. Johnson? Oh, hey, Samuel and Naomi. Thought hit. Oh, Naomi. I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention you. Before Backbite showed up, Sword Girl traveled to her hometown, Kyoto, Japan, and met Naomi Riki, also known as Nightbox. And the two of them, along with their parents, Hastum, and a retired agent known as the Shadow Veteran, stopped an evil android named Karusu, Kamatato and his robotic army. After that, she joined the Dream League just in time to help them defeat Backbite. Speak they hope you two and your they hope you two and your friends are ready for the new adventures coming up in season two I've been writing. And then Samuel says, yes, but there's something in the anniversary book you got wrong. Really? What's that? And Naomi hands me the book. You put the wrong year for my birthday, both in the introduction, Dream League database files for Friday, November 1st, say 2011, and the conclusion, Dream League database X-Files re-update for Saturday, November 2nd, 2011. My birth year is 2005. Yeah, that would explain it there. So, oh, so then I noticed it like, oh my gosh, I didn't catch that before production. Well, there are two reasons why that probably happened. Uh, say one, I was looking at book 10 where it states you're 5, but I didn't take into account your late birthday. And two, I was really rushing to get this book out due to some delays on the release date I planned. It's okay, sir. We all make mistakes. Yeah, like the mistake Samuel made in chapter 12, say page 100, made 129 of the anniversary book when he drove the food mobile into the supermarket. Naomi, did you have to bring that up? I'm just saying. Okay, chill out, you guys. Now that that's all cleared up, let's get to what occurred after Nose went through that portal. And the story begins after all that fourth wall breaking. A lot of noise going on outside there. Go to sleep! Oh, anyway, last time on Heroes of Dreams. So, yep, so here's what happened. After the Dream League got to know their new members, Sunrisha, Nightfox, and Bubbleina's Ocean Atlantean friends Crystal, Gina, Holly, and Alicia, they all flew into space to stop a meteor shower that was heading for Earth. Bubbleina and Crystal encountered a new superhero that looked like an angel. After that, Samuel, Brian, Riley, and Calvin traveled to New Orleans for a hero convention with Bruno's parents along the way, Nose appeared from a different dimension. After getting the 411 on the universe disturbance, Backbyte and Warptag appeared in the Dream League along with another group of heroes called the Conquerors went into a virtual reality game. Backbite really devastated them until Nose and his new and a new power and a new hero power play showed up to rescue them. All together, they defeated Backbite and Warptag, but just as they were sending Nose back home, the portal malfunctioned, which was about to cause something else to happen. Almost made me think of last time on Digiboy. Chapter 1, Exploding New Looks. The portal malfunction caused a dimensional explosion to occur in the sky, almost making me think of the quantum surge from Beast Wars there at the beginning of season 2 that made some of them transmetals. All all the hero tree systems went offline. So Julie quickly went outside the hero tree to put a psychic barrier around it. The barrier neutralized the explosion, but the shockwave was emitted across the world. It hit Julie full force, knocking, knocking her unconscious and into the lake. Suddenly, the angel like superhero came and fished her out and brought her inside the hero tree toward the Dream League and Conquerors who were just getting up from the shockwave that hit. Do 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 do. That tuxedo mask music. Bruno, Melody, and Harmony looked at the hero carrying Julie, instantly recognized him, and shouted together, "It's you!" Then the three of them looked at each other and asked, "Wait, you know him too?" Okay. Everyone else noticed, and Samuel asked them, "Who are you?" "I am the masked angel," said the hero, as he brought Julie toward everyone. "The masked angel," said Brian. Bruno became starstruck. "Oh, you're the one that gave me the pep talk to help Nose and my parents fight D, E, and F. The, and you're the one that saved us during that meteor shower," said Melody, deeply blushing. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, from the Conqueror. Okay, I had to think about that for a second. There. Oh yeah, I forgot the Conquerors were still there. Okay. Well, so we still got the Conquerors here just at the beginning here because it picked up from the last from the anniversary book. Well, you're certainly a charming young man, said Gloria. Say, maybe a little, but not as charming as me, said Calvin with a grin. He made a rose appear. Right, everyone? Suddenly, Calvin noticed Melody, Harmony, Bella, Ivory, Ebony, and Zoe gathered close around the masked angel with heart-filled eyes. His mouth dropped to the ground as Zayden said to him, "So look like you got some competition, buddy." Just then, Julie became conscious, and the masked angel looked at her. They noticed her eyes as she opened them. Well, looks like this blue-eyed sleeping samurai beauty is awake. I thought I might have to kiss you to wake you. Blue eyes? Everyone exclaimed. Blue eyes, repeated Julie. She quickly got up and checked herself using the camera mode on her iPhone. You know how we do. It's like we be quick to do that camera mode. Like, oh, hey, look, and then, hey, look, it looks like there's two of me on the screen. like the so blue eyes, repeated Julie. Yeah, and he ain't talking about the blue eyes white dragon. White lightning attack. She noticed her eye color and freaked out and shouted, "How did this happen? My eyes are supposed to be goldenrod." That's actually the colored pencil I used on her eyes was goldenrod. Naomi and Sakura quickly rushed over to calm Julie down as Johnson explained. It could be the effects of the dimension explosion that just occurred. There's no telling whether the changes might have occurred. Also, the change of the eyes. Oh, wait, let me read a little bit more. I'll explain the eye in a second. Yeah, we've had a lot of that back in the day, said Tyrone. Hey, are you trying to make us sound old, asked Sakura? Speak for yourself, said Marty. I know one thing, said Harmony. You need a makeover to go with that eye color. Julie jumped back and shouted, "No!" she and she took a minute to calm herself. Okay, I'm sorry. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not a makeup person. And this is actually a reference to how Casey was growing up there. And I'm pretty sure she was like that in real life. But in our role plays, there was sometimes like especially when we role play Yu-Gi-Oh and other animes, there was some times that we actually imagined ourselves like you ever see some like the Cartoon Network bumpers or sometimes little segments before the commercial break, the little or sometimes the stuff they had on Kids WB like Surfs Up Saturday or Chinese New Year stuff like that with the like you had scenes with um Yugi talking with that sock puppet and Osmosis Jones and or Wolverine hanging out with Drix and stuff there, stuff like that. So yeah, we used to imagine ourselves kind of in something like that. And like say the studio was getting ready for the next scene of Yu-Gi-Oh! And they tried to come after Casey's character Julie, either Julie Kaiba or Julie Yukashi. But they tried to come after her character uh, try to put just a little makeup on her face because you know how on TV they do that is the thing, not just for ladies but even for guys because it because the shot like you see how my face there's a little shine on my face from the ring light, but they put that on there to keep to sort of reduce the shine but you still show up on camera and all that. Now, me, honestly, this is just me. But like I said, I know it's a thing for Hollywood. But me, I wouldn't even pretty much like Case. I wouldn't even. I'd be like, no, I'm going on as I am. I don't do makeup. Yeah. Um. There's like but in case yeah, she was. That's how tomboyish she was to the point. Yeah, you try to like, come on, it's just a little makeup for the camera. She take her character take off running and hiding. Yeah, it take a long time for them to catch her to do it there. So yeah, so that was that there. So so that's what excuse me. Makeup isn't the only way to do a makeover, Julie, said Ivory. Yeah, agreed Melody. Remember the first time I redid your costume design as Sword Girl? Julie thought for a moment. Yeah, I assume you're referring to the burgundy one, right? Yep, said Melody. Well, I could give you a new look and new hairdo that will really suit you. Yeah, and this is another thing that kind of was starting to be a little redundant because I was, yeah, changing a lot of the outfits and stuff again after I had just did like the big change for the movie there. So yeah, it was kind of that going on there. Some of these changes, I'm looking at them, but I'll show them when I get to them. But some of these changes, it was okay, but then it was like, yeah, it was almost becoming redundant there at that point because like you just gave them new costumes in the anniversary book. Um, and I think what it was, you know how in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, they didn't use spandex for the Power Rangers costume. They used I can't think what that material was called, but it was some really grade A stuff there. And then you had Ivan Ooze and all in his little get up. But a lot of the stuff that was used in the movie, they weren't going to have since the movie didn't do so well. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Don't get me wrong. My only thing was y'all used too much chrome on the Zords, but I still enjoyed the movie. But yeah, it didn't really make what they wanted it to. So a lot of Saban was wanting to go further with it, like make like I guess possibly go somewhere off without Sentai footage and just like really have like this brand new Power Ranger like series directed from the movie, which would have been pretty cool. But the budget didn't quite go in their favor due to the box office and stuff. So yeah, they ended up going back. So that's why the movie is not canon and stuff. So now in this case, the anniversary book is canon. So that's why this was made this dimension explosion to change everything for the sake of redrawing a lot of these characters to sort of uh, to kind of fit and then also kind of make things a little easier in drawing them going forward into this new season and everything there and really keep this series going as long as I thought it was going to go. So that's kind of what the deal was on that there. Julie looked a bit nervous until Ebony said to her, "Don't worry, Julie. You're going to be the best. Say, I'm going to be advising and assisting Melody with your new look." Say, yeah, Ebony knows a lot about tomboy styles, said Bella. Okay, that could help there. Say, why? Say, why don't I help you girls give all your members a new look? Asked Diana. Say, count me in, said Sakura. And me too, said Zoe. I'm real good with doing guys' hair, considering the salon that her and Riley help out at. The more the merrier, said Melody. We could even give. Then everybody knows the masked angel had vanished. Uh, I'll go find him, said Hero. You guys go get your new looks. Okay, said the Dream League. The following Tuesday, the Dream League and all the kids returned to school from the fall break there. The Dream League entered with their new styles, melodies. Ocean Atlantean friends Ivory, Ebony, Bella, and Harmony were enrolled in Miss Fillmore's class with Melody and the rest of the other Dream League members except Naomi. She was placed in Mrs. Diana Douglas's kindergarten class and found out later that she was Johnson's mother. Work my. So it looks like a nut. So yeah, my mom had two characters in here because of Johnson and Samuel there. And this right here is the if I can see it. Yeah, this is all. Now it's not their costume, but this is how they all look. Going to Shreve Elementary. And of course, there's a couple of new students coming. Got Angela. Well, actually, okay, there is gonna be some new students, but this is Angela, and looks like Bruno has his eyes for her. So in this one, looks like Bruno was the one that's hey. But then when I got to the Star Trek comics, it shifted to Samuel and Angela there. So yeah, so that's that kind of happened there. One reason because in this version, had kind of had Samuel hooked up with somebody else there. You're about to find out there. Hmm. Chapter 2, the new girl in class. She's coming in now. The new girl in class. Oh, 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 oh. That was from Hairspray. A little reference to the new girl in town. Yeah, remember that movie, Hairspray, both the 60s version, both the original 60s version and the new 2007 version with Zac Efron and I can't think of, I think Nikki Giovanni, I think her name is, who played Tracy Turnblad. Yeah. Oh, that was a real good movie there. Oh, 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 look at me now. You can compare the mind today. Oh, 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 look at the morning Baltimore. Well, I started to sound like the YouTube channel Sort of Stupid when they started ranting about stuff in the middle of their reaction. Okay, just as the bell rang for class to start, a new student entered the classroom. All right, class, take your seat, said Miss Fillmore. Then she turned to the new student and said, just make yourself available. Make just You can just take any available empty seat that's not labeled. Okay. Yes, ma'am, said the new student. She looked around briefly and spotted an empty seat next to Bruno, went over to it, and as she sat down and looked at him and said, hi there, Bruno looked up from his Ultra Cat comic he was reading, and when he looked at her, he dropped it and gazed at her beauty like she was a beautiful angel to him. Her beauty mesmerized him so that he could hardly speak. God rest her soul, Angela. Yeah, the one who this character Angela, of course, is based off of. Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I do. I hope I can really do a good job in writing her character in the new Supreme Star Striker novel series next year. There, um, like I said in the weekly update, kind of, yeah, kind of got juggling with directions to take the stories there, but yeah, um, yeah, I really want to, yeah, depending on what story direction I go, I really want to do the do the series good justice, especially the characters. Excuse me. Are you okay? She asked. Bruno gulped and blushed bright red. While stuttering for a few minutes, he managed to say hi. The new student smiled and gave him a friendly giggle. After this class was seated, Miss Fillmore began. All right, once again, we have some more new students joining our class, so show them the proper respect as they introduce themselves. Yes, ma'am, said everyone. Must be a pretty big class because, okay, we know Samuel and Brian are in Miss Fillmore's class. We Brian got transferred in there, and around the same time, Julie and Calvin joined along with Melody. Those all five of them were in the class. Now, now we've made an addition. Then of course, oh yeah, at the same time, Zoe and Riley, seven of them. But now at the same time, we've added the Iglandian sisters, all four but four Bubblina's Atlantean sisters there. So, and we know Naomi is in a different class because she's younger than the rest of them there. But yeah, that let's say so. And of course, Bruno already was in Miss Fillmore's class. So that's Sam. So we got there were five. It was first it was Samuel and Bruno, then Brian three, then three more with like I say Julie, Calvin, and Melody. Um, Six of them plus Zoe and Riley. Then now we've added four more. The girls, the Atlantean sisters. So that's 12. So now four more new students plus. Um, like I say, let me make sure. That's 12 new students. Okay, and Angela, yeah. So Angela and we still don't now we don't know the other students there, but we might be meeting some of them that's already been there. But Angela is also part of this, so I'm gonna take a wild guess and just say that this class has at least the total amount of students I'm assuming is in this class because I didn't really write an amount of students, but at least anywhere between I would say 25 to 30 students there. That's just my guess. So probably some pretty good sized classrooms in the school there. Okay. Okay. And let me check something real quick there. I gotta see something there. Let's see something. How many students can be in the average classroom? In the average classroom. Okay, okay. So it does say, let's see, 20 uh elementary, secondary. Okay. So private okay, now they say private schools usually can have a smaller class, so usually between 10 to 15. Probably like for special things or something like that. There may possibly be some private schools with more students. I guess a lot of that depends on the school there. But according to here, it's saying that it's 10 to 15 for most private schools. Um, let's see. The average size public school. Okay, I'm looking. Hmm. About, let's see. I got an idea. Elementary, or in the average elementary. So let's do that. This is an elementary classroom, third grade. Oh, so for an elementary classroom, usually around 20 to 21, but the size can vary. So it can go up a bit to like 26. So yeah, this is the average. So I guess yeah. So I guess it is possible for a classroom to possibly have up to 30. I don't think my mom when she was a school teacher, I don't think she had 30 kids in her classroom. I think the number of kids that used to be in her classroom was usually under 25, like between 20 and 25. So yeah. Yeah, but like I say, this is a fictional book, but like I say, it could be a possibility of 30 kids in a classroom somewhere. So let's say it's a possibility. Like I say, they say the average usually can go up to 26. So 30 doesn't seem like too big of a stretch to guess. So we're just going to go with that as an assumption here, considering all the here Dream League members that are in this classroom, in addition to having regular civilian students there. So, ooh, yeah, that's quite a bit to explain about the school system here. And also today's lesson is going to be on turning 24. Hey, I thought of something funnier than 24. Let me hear it. 25. Little joke from SpongeBob. So, anyhow. So let's show them the proper respect as they introduce themselves. Let's start with you. Miss Fillmore pointed to the student. The new student approached the front of the class and began. Bonjour, everyone. Like, my name is Angela Adams. I'm here from Paris, France, with my mom, dad, and little brother Adrian. Like, we moved in order for my dad to open up his own art museum here in Shreveport, and also for my mom to start her teaching career. She's currently teaching the ninth grade English at Falcon Wing Middle and High School. Sort of a rebel year because Angela in real life, because like I say, met her in high school actually. I think during our junior and senior year, somewhere, I think it was in our senior year actually, when her mom actually got a job as a teacher up there at Woodlawn. It's like real nice. She real nice and everything. I mean, a lot of the students were real cool with her and everything. Like, hi, how you doing, Miss Pierre? Yeah, she was a real cool person there. God rest her soul as well. There, but like I said, she passed, and then right after her, Angela passed. Yeah, ooh, real nice people there. So, they my little brother Adrian, and my little brother Adrian. Angela actually did have a little brother named Christian, actually. So he is of Angela's generation of the Pierre family. Yeah, he is the only one around. I really hope that the little brother um, be able to stick around and, pretty much live out his life and everything, and possibly, even meet somebody and, as they say, maybe even continue the Pierre line. Yeah. So, oh, guess the decision has been left. Christian, will you continue the Pierre family? Yep. Well, we will find out. May possibly. so, so we moved here in order for my dad to open up his own art museum here in Shreveport, and also for my mom to start her teaching career. She's currently teaching ninth grade English at Falcon Wing Middle and High School. I wanna I wanna one day become a professional for tele news reporter for television or the newspaper. Hmm. So yeah, there's also reference to us in journalism class there. Yep. Well, what section of the news would you like to be a reporter for? Asked Miss Fillmore. Angela thought for a moment and said, I would like to do entertainment. However, since I arrived, I've been hearing a lot about this group of heroes called the Dream League, and I would love to learn more about them. Hmm. Okay, Lois Lane. Also, both me and Angela back in journalism class were features in entertainment. That was the section of the paper we both of us were over there. Yep, and we got nominated in the yearbook as the teacher's pets. We were the teacher's pets nominated in the Woodlawn High School yearbook. Yeah, so go figure. The Dream League, the Dream League, said a student. They've assembled here in Shreveport ever since the night after our fall fair. Really? Said Angela. As the student explained more, Bruno gazed at Angela, fantasizing in the same way Riley did with Sakura during their battle with Backbyte. He himself after imagined himself as power play, carrying Angela across the city like Ultra Cat carried his sweetheart Doris Green, like Superman and Lois. Both of them looking at each other, blushing because power play had paused time to enjoy the moment. And then in the Star Trek comic series, there's a scene of Star Striker doing that same thing that Angela actually illustrated there. And of course, there's Angela's parents and her little brother. You probably could guess who was who there. Yep, since she did mention that her dad was a painter there. So, and about to go into the next chapter. See some of the parents. Got Samuel's parents over here. His mom and dad. BTV agency. Target's parents of the Hunters agency. And let's see. Trying to let me check it real quick. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Kurt and Euro. So Euro got him a new look there. Excuse me. It looked like Professor Kurt kind of cut his hair a little bit there. Kind of got it shaped up a little bit there. And so and Euro kind of got this look. I think the outfit I drew on Euro in this picture, it's a it's sort of what. And I know there's a lot of stuff I'm showing you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Jedi. Yeah, there we go. Ah, right there. Yeah, I was sort of that look that Jedi had right here from Digimon in season 2. Mhm. That after chapter 3, the roommate system. That afternoon, after school, the Dream League went to the second level hallway of the hero tree where Hero, Lee, Lisa, Deborah, Derek, Kurt, and a few of the BTB Hunter agents had a special surprise. Dream League, Lee began, seeing how you're starting to grow in numbers, like the children of Israel did near the end of Genesis, we decided to make some special arrangements to the hero tree. What kind of arrangements? Asked Samuel. They Euro explained. Well, remember how when you started out with only 5 members and we built each of you your individual rooms? Of course, said Calvin. Like if we decided to hang out here for a night or two. Well, since you, well, started Lisa. Now we'll have you sharing your rooms with each other. Really? Said the Dream League. Indeed, said Deborah. So who's going in which room? Asked Julie. Professor Kurt will show you, said Derek. Kurt led the Dream League to their new rooms. Everyone followed there. Once they got to the first room, he said, this will be Samuel, Brian, and Bruno's room. Sweet, they said together. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX with Jaden, Cyrus, and Chumley. Mhm. Jinx, you guys owe me a soda just like Nose did at the comic convention, said Samuel. Oh no, said Bruno. I think you guys should owe me a soda. Maybe we should drink some juice, considering the large amounts of Pepsi and RC you guys consumed over the weekend. Yeah, tell me about it, cause yeah, you overdo it on them sodas. Yeah, that's not too pretty. Believe, take it from me. But I will say my solution to that, um, obviously water, of course. I mean that's an obvious choice, and not just juice, but some healthy alternative juice, like pomegranate juice, VA, and also as for if you really want the taste of a soda, but you don't want to, but obviously you don't want to be gulping down Cokes and Pepsis every day. It's a little pricey, but in our produce department, Splice sodas with probiotics and with probiotics in it. There, my favorite flavor is strawberry, but they got other flavors like Coke and grape, lemon lime, and see, I want to say, I'm trying to think the other flavor. There is one. I think some of the bigger Krogers have some of the other flavors like grape and also cherry Coke. So yeah, they got so yeah, we got you covered if you the taste of soda, but you want to watch but you want to watch your health. Juice is good, said Deborah, but if you had that much soda, you might want to go with some water first, since water is very good for you. I suppose, said Brian. The second room is for Calvin and Riley, said Kurt. Look, what about that What about that masked angel guy? Asked Riley. Is he going to be sharing a room with us? Well, we're not sure at the moment," said Hero. "Yeah, we don't even know his secret identity," said Calvin. "Pretty sure we'll find out one day," said Riley. "I sure hope we do," Melody thought to herself. "The third room is for Harmony, Melody, and Julie," said Kurt. "What?" said Julie. Melody and Harmony ran up and gave Julie a big hug and said together, "Roomies! We're going to have so much fun," said Julie. "Lots of makeovers," said Harmony, "that's for sure." Oh boy. Hold on, I need to check something real quick. Because that makeover just made me think of something about Julie's hair. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I guess it's just in the picture. Um, if you didn't notice the first time I showed this picture, yeah, you notice might have to get to another different picture, but Julie, along with her blue eyes, she got blue and black hair. That was actually a request, somewhat a request, and also Casey had drew some pictures of Julie, aka Sword Girl, with blue and black hair after the anniversary book. So I decided to work that into, like all of a sudden her brown hair changed to that, uh, along with her eye color as well. So that's how that happened there. And now see, so not not that I'm not excited about that, started Julie, but I was kind of hoping to share my room with Naomi. The Well, Julie, we wanted to mix things up a bit, said Derek. That way you'll have a chance to interact personally with everyone. The more you get to know each the more you get to know each other, the better you'll all work together, said Lee. And believe us, Julie, said Harmony. We're gonna have a lot to learn about each other. Got that right, said Melody. I can imagine, said Julie nervously. Don't worry, Julie. You all will be able to adapt, said Hero. Fourth room is for Zoe and Bella, said Kurt. I'm cool with that. No argument here, said Bella. That leaves the fifth room for Naomi, Ivory, and Ebony, said Kurt. Naomi, Ivory, and Ivory jumped with excitement as the roommate system was set. Also saves money on us trying to construct the rooms at the moment. But I guess they probably would if any more members joined up. Of course, if this series, one spoiler I will give, if this series had continued past what I wrote, the hero tree would have became something called the All Fort. And All Fort, I mean, like the word all, ALL or AL, and FORT, Fort, like Fort Sumter or something like that. So it would have became something like that, which would be real big for a lot of hero kids and stuff like that. Sort of like going from Justice League to Justice League Unlimited there. So yep. Mm. All right, let's see. I'm just seeing how much I got in here because I'm getting close to that hour mark there. I don't want to make the stream too long here. Let's see, got the conclusion. Oh, okay, the correction to the database there. Oh, addition to the database, I mean. Okay, so, all right, let's see. Chapter. I think, let's see, because I'm trying to get a good stopping point there. This be a good place to do a cliffhanger, possibly. Let's see here. Okay, so, okay. Chapter 4, Chatting on the Bus. So, we got the talk. A week later, that Friday, Miss Fillmore and Mrs. Douglas classes went on a school field trip to the Mid North Louisiana Museum of Science and Discoveries in Ruston, Louisiana. Before they left, the students had to randomly pick out of the jar a buddy to ride with on the bus. Hmm, sounds like sounds like a sounds like a pretty good little system there. Yeah, that way. So it's not exactly the teachers aren't actually picking this; the students actually picking it at random. So kind of similar to the roommate system at the Hero Tree. Most of the students got who they wanted to sit with, and some didn't. Well, that's the thing about random drawing there. Like, out of the Dream League, Brian sat with Zoe, Calvin sat with Julie, Riley sat with a new student named Caroline Everson. Caroline. Bruno sat with Angela. Mm-hmm. Ebony sat with Harmony. Bella sat with Ivory. Naomi sat with Adrian. And Samuel sat next to Melody. Okay. Oh, so Naomi get to sit with Angela's little brother. The trip gave everyone a chance to chat and get to know each other. Samuel blushed hard sitting with Melody. Yeah. In now Heroes of Dream, yeah, I was cooking Samuel and Melody up because of me and Christina there. Yep. So and this actually was something that was being worked in before this book even came up there. So yeah, that was already in plan. Um, Not only that, there's something else. But of course, there's also that. Yeah, see, that was the with the anniversary book. Yeah, that whole thing where Melody and all the girls were kind of crushing on Christian there, and then also this masked angel guy. So, yeah, yeah, got a bit of a love triangle, just a little bit here. Mhm. And show you a few things before I continue there. We got Samuel and Melody. That's them on the bus together. Notice that Samuel's hair is not quite out as far as it was in the previous books, which saved a lot of time with the black colored pencil there. And then there's Melody's lunch bag here. Say with the little mermaid is actually a drawing that I drew of the Little Mermaid. And that same drawing was actually even placed in the Bubblina comics when Bubblina mentioned about the Little Mermaid in that universe there. So Samuel blushed hard sitting with Melody, who wouldn't, because he was beginning to develop a crush on her. He wanted to ask Melody if she had a crush on him, but he was too nervous to ask. He thought about when he first met her at the fall festival in Noir City after rescuing Brian and him from Silly Willy Shark robots, and remember how she gave them and Sword Girl their first costume change to make them more colorful, and how tasty the first lunch she prepared for the Dream League was. He also remembered their battle with Anthony's tentacle robots when she randomly hugged them. Melody noticed Samuel staring into space in his nostalgia and nudged him and said, Samuel? Samuel? Samuel snapped to attention and replied, Yeah? You excited? Are you excited about the Nelson Laboratory? Asked Melody. Yeah, of course. How about you? Said Samuel. Absolutely, said Melody. Suddenly, two boys in the seat across from Samuel and Melody started singing together. Ooh, Samuel and Melody sitting in a tree. I can't guess ing. First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes baby Samuel and a baby stroller. Y'all remember hearing anybody who been to school back in this time, back in this time period, or even earlier than this book was written. Y'all remember that? Samuel and Melody blushed hard and held their heads down until Miss Fillmore looked back and told the boys to stop. Then Samuel noticed Melody's lunchbox. Hey, that's a nice little mermaid lunchbox, said Samuel. Oh, thank you, said Melody. My mom got it for me after I saw The Little Mermaid. It's my favorite Disney movie. Though I guess, knowing me, it's kind of obvious. So, what's your favorite Disney movie? Well, for me, it's a tie between Aladdin and The Little Mermaid. Melody was shocked. Like, you really like The Little Mermaid? Of course. Like, wow. I never thought any of the boys on the surface world would consider The Little Mermaid as their favorite movie. Uh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at some of these rare, odd, and strange guys up here. Yeah, I mean, hello. I was into Little Mermaid. I was into the Powerpuff Girls back as a kid because I had a crush on Blossom back then. Um, yes, I know they're in a kindergarten class, but again, I was a kid. I didn't really think about that much there. I just Blossom was cute there. Not saying the others weren't, but I liked her the best. And of course, like I say, now, of course, I didn't really watch it much for the story. Not a whole lot. I knew a little bit what was going on, but I learned more about it when I got older and watched the redub of it. But Sailor Moon. But yeah, back then, yeah, with the '90s dub, I mostly was paying attention to how pretty Sailor Moon was there, and wanting to be that cool guy in the tux that she was in love with there, tuxedo mask. So, well, when I first saw it, I wondered what it would be like to meet a real mermaid. You mean like me? Say, yeah. I even imagined myself as a merman swimming with one. I've actually pictured that too. Then a thought struck Samuel, and he asked, Melody, is it possible that a human could become a merman or a mermaid? Okay. Melody thought for a moment. I've never known it to happen, but it might be possible, how our exi- seeing as how our existence came to be because of the imagination of humans. They, well, if you could find out how to do that, could you make me a merman? Okay, then I'd be a superhero and a merman. The boys from earlier snickered again. Quite an interesting fantasy, Samuel. Like, yeah, he wants to be a super merman. Melody glared at the boys and said to them, "Say, there is nothing wrong with someone being honest about their feelings about something." Say, Miss Fillmore looked back at the again. The boys quickly stopped. But that look. Mm. Of course, nowadays, some people kind of they have. Yeah, sometimes the look doesn't have that effect like it had back in the day, and in some cases, that look is being misused. There, what I mean by that, um, yeah, some people just use it on folks that like. Okay, wait, why are you looking at me like that? I didn't even do anything. So, yeah. So, let me say, you got a little star. So I can imagine himself as a star merman. Yep. And even though Samuel and Melody are the same age, the way this drawing came out, it almost makes Samuel more like he's her little brother there. Which ironically, yes, Christina and she's actually 2 years older than me there. Especially after next Friday, November 21st, um, yeah, she'll be 2 years older than I am there. So yeah, that's yeah. Oh, because her birthday's late, obviously, but yeah, that. But the characters in here are supposed to be the same age, and which I get it. A lot of times, especially in elementary, a lot of girls are taller than the boys are. Sort of like what I did with Naomi and Hiko. Um, but yeah, I think maybe even if Melody is is a little taller, yeah, I still could have brought Samuel up just a little bit, or at least I don't know. I would have kind of wish I may have drew. I think a lot of it's not so much the height; it's more the size of his head there. Yeah, because I got Melody's head a little bit bigger than his, so that's kind of what's making it look like it's not just the normal boy and girl height, more like almost like it's an 8 and a 5 year old almost there. Mm. Yeah, just something I kind of noticed there. Uh, Melody was very captivated by Samuel's enthusiasm. Well, I suppose I could see what I could do. Oh, thank you! Exclaimed Samuel, hugging Melody. Then he caught himself and jumped back. But I didn't. I mean, what I Melody giggled a bit. It's okay, Sammy. You're very welcome. She gave Samuel a friendly hug, and he thought to himself, Melody is just as sweet as Ariel. Ooh. Uh-oh. don't get mad at me for saying that, Ariel. Over where Brian and Zoe were sitting, Zoe began to share with Brian about the Sky Atlantis. They and over where Calvin and Julie were sitting, Calvin shared with her his suspicions about his mom's recent behavior lately. I've noticed ever since last week, he began, my mom's been acting differently around the house. How so? Asked Julie. Well, for one, she gets real giggly on the phone sometimes, sort of like Melody did when she talked to you and Zoe about her party. Then last Friday night, we were supposed to have a movie night together, but instead, she said something came up at the last minute at Mr. Fox came over in her place. Are you referring to the they came over in her place? Are you referring to Minister Fox from church? Said asked Julie. Oh no, I was referring to my mom's boss and landlord, Mr. Fox. Oh, okay. I'm not I'm not saying watching movies with Mr. Fox is a bad thing because he's watched movies with me before. It's just that I'm suspecting that my mom might be dating someone. And after what my dad put us through trying to enslave the world, I'm a little worried. What if someone tries to hurt her again? Ooh. Oh boy. Drew. Yeah, I think it's yeah. So there yeah, like I say, um yeah, it's kind of I think a lot of kids will and yeah, now I'm not gonna go into a whole lot of details because yeah, it is kind of personal there. But I will admit I am my mom and my biological dad did divorce and there was some stuff that happened. Like I say, not gonna go into details, it's kind of personal. But yeah, some stuff did happen. Uh that's kind of what this story with Calvin's parents is a reference to. Except my well, of course, my dad wasn't trying to take over the world or nothing. But yeah, it wasn't anything good that he was in either, though. Just to put it to you, just to give you a hint, Yu-Gi-Oh fans would probably get this. You remember one of the Big Five members, Johnson? Yeah, let's just say Johnson from the Big Five is like an alternate is pretty much similar to my biological dad. Yeah, yeah, because he was kind of a dishonest lawyer that was messing with the virtual system in order to cheat and beat Joey until Noah put a stop to it there. 'Cause remember, like when Joey had those dice rolls, like yes, a six. I don't think so. Oh no! And even with the coin toss there, and then Noah showed up like this honorable judge man is a fraud. Yeah, so that pretty much yeah that's pretty much an example of what my biological dad was like. So yeah, that's um and yeah, then of course there was that line when Joey did defeat him where he said, "No, this can't happen. I once I once ruled a man guilty of robbing. I once ruled a man who was afraid of water guilty of robbing of stealing a boat." Not sure how that works there, but wow. So yeah, this is kind of a reference to that, and then kind and then of course um, before she remarried to who she with now, there were some other guys that came along in and out there and dated my mom, stuff like that. Um, and one of them kind let's just say because of what what had happened previously with my biological dad. Yeah, I kind of would be worried about mom being taken away from me by one of these other guys there that were dating her at the time, back in elementary. And yeah, had yeah, I think one time I had like a nightmare that she left the house and left me by myself at the house. And yeah, no, and was like, didn't seem like she was coming back there. That kind of woke me up crying a bit there. So yeah, so yeah, it is just kind of a reference with that there. So Julie noticed Calvin not trying not to cry, placed her arm around him to comfort him, and said, "I'm pretty sure your mom would be more careful after all that in order to keep you and herself safe." I know, but I know she would try her best, but my dad was very clever and was a very clever deceiver, like the devil when he used the serpent to tempt Adam and Eve. Yeesh. Yeah, because remember he say, "Eat from the fruit, you will not die." What happens if she runs into a guy like that or worse? Calvin couldn't hold his tears and cried softly. Julie was about to speak, but she got interrupted by Caroline sitting across from him with Riley. Say, oh boy, Calvin, are you okay? Say, you want to come over here and tell me what's wrong? No thanks, it's kind of personal, said Calvin. Say, yeah, I can take care of it, said Julie, glaring at Caroline. Hmm. Caroline rolled her eyes at Julie and thought to herself, what does he see in her? Oh boy. Julie felt annoyed by Caroline ever since ever since she arrived, she constantly kept trying to flirt with Calvin. Not only that, but before Caroline arrived, there were times whenever Julie tried to casually talk at Calvin at school, a lot of girls would instantly swarm around Calvin and push Julie aside. It got even worse after Calvin's new look last week. The girls swarmed him even more. This caused Julie to be in a really bad mood at times, and you didn't want to mess with her in a bad mood. Sort of like this one time when we had school pictures at Casey's school that Captain Shreve, and I think this is when she was 16 there, or I think it was just her in sophomore or junior year, but when she took a picture, she had a real nice smile, but I don't know where it's yeah, it may be in one of my photo albums, but I'm too lazy to get up and pick it up now. But so um but I remember like, hey, this thing took a real good picture, Casey. And she's like, thanks, but I just want to say I was in a really bad mood that day there, but you can't. But so I was I was smiling, but I was also frowning at the same time. Yeah, so that's kind of a reference with that there. While Julie continued talking to Calvin, Riley tried to talk to her. That was real nice of Hey, that was real nice of you to be concerned about Calvin. Huh, hope Julie can cheer her up. Yeah, sure, said Caroline in an annoyed tone. Oh dear. And you got, yeah, trying to comfort him there. Caroline. And this here by the girls surrounding Calvin. And we tried to have lunch together. Yeah. Also, that right there, the girls swarming around Calvin along with Caroline. Now it's a little different, but I think Case and I may have even mentioned this in the video of how we met. But when me and Casey would eat lunch together in summer school, a lot of time, I don't know if it was every day, but probably almost every day. At some point, like okay, we get started eating lunch. We get started eating and start talking about Yu-Gi-Oh stuff like that. But at some point, this group of girls would just come over to the table. Now, unlike Calvin, they weren't coming and like, ooh, hi Gabe, how you doing? Hey, you look good today. Well, oh, look at you. Look at what's on my lunch again. No, it wasn't like that there. No, this group of girls would just come over and just sit at the table with me in case they would sit there. I I think they would eat. They would eat some of their lunch, but while they were sitting there, they wouldn't say nothing. But they would just stare at us, like, okay. And you probably could guess how kind of uncomfortable that would feel. Somebody just comes up there and just stares at you, and I'm like this. I see somebody, and I see you, you see me. Matter of fact, when I see you, hey, how you doing? What's up? How's it going? Yeah, I'm kind. It's just kind of automatic. Yeah, you see somebody, you speak, as they say in Beast Wars, speak. So, so I'm like, hi, how y'all doing? I mean, like y'all coming over here where we're at and just looking at us. I mean, okay, hello, nice weather we're having. Penny for your thoughts, something is you want to talk to us? I mean, hello. But they would just sit there. Now, of course, a smile is a good thing, but again, especially somebody, yeah, you're just sitting there staring, and I mean, not even making an attempt to speak or anything or start a conversation, which you kind of could if you're going to sit there for so long. I'm just saying that can like okay, yeah, and you probably would think like maybe, well, why don't y'all just get up and move to another table? Well, technically we could. You would. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you on that, but there is a chance that that they might possibly get up and follow us or something. So yeah, and that's so. Well, we just said that. I mean, okay, we just kept eating our lunch and stuff, and eventually they would go off. I don't know how long they would stay, but eventually they would walk off. And yeah, it was like, okay, what was that all about? And then this one time, I had to stay in summer school a little bit longer because I had a few more course. I had one more course to take up. Casey had finished what she had to take, so she was finished, and she went on a trip out of town. So I was finishing up like a last, I think a last week or two of summer school. Those girls came to my lunch table, and I'm by myself. No Casey's there. So ain't got your girlfriend with you. You talking to me? Like, she's not my girlfriend there. We're just friends there. More like brother and sister, to be honest. So, yeah, like, okay, just assumed. Okay, technically, I could now, understandably, I could get that assumption. I mean, sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes I've assumed that people were a couple sometime. But I mean, why didn't you? Well, okay, all that time you kept sitting there looking at us. Why didn't you say something then when she was there? What were you afraid? What were you afraid of Casey or something? Hmm. Although technically, I guess maybe they should, because trust me, it's a yeah. If she won, yeah, is a Casey know how to whoop some butt. There, just saying. So yeah, so yeah, there was that. That's kind of what that was a reference to with the The girl just sitting and looking there, like in and this kind of make me think of Meet the Browns when he say, "Mr. Brown, if she didn't say anything, she just looked at me. You in trouble. I'd rather a woman mad at me go, I get you, I get you, I get you, than just to look at me." So, yeah. Let's say Riley continued. Sometimes I've gotten that. Good thing my mom or my sister would be there to help me feel better. Caroline twitched a bit. Yeah, that's wonderful, kid. Oh, oh, I guess my name slipped your mind. I'm Riley Jones. It's nice to meet you, Caroline. So you mind telling me a little bit about yourself? No. Well, I just figure since we're bus buddies, I don't give a crow's nest about us being bus buddies. So zip your lips and leave me alone. Okay, sorry, I was just being nice. I don't care. Buzz off. Mm. And she won, and she wonders why, and she wonders why Calvin's not interested in her. Go figure. Yeah, not really gonna get far with that kind of attitude there, homie. Little lady. And the way she spoke about the crow's nest thing, I don't know if I thought about that back then, but somehow I don't give a crow's nest. Kind of makes it sound like she got a little southern in her, like a little southern girl there, from down this, which I mean this is in Shreveport, but like yeah, like New Orleans almost. Ironic. I was watching a reaction to Princess and the Frog. So yeah. So over where Angela and Bruno were sitting across from Adrian and Naomi in front of Bella, Ivory, Ebony, and Harmony, Angela started asking information about the Dream League. I've been hearing from some kids that the Dream League has 5 members, she said, and other kids say that there are 6. And others, along with the media, say that I've researched says that there are more members. So do you know exactly how many members are at this point? Well, started Bruno, they should have 13 at this point, possibly another recruit coming soon. Really? Well, what source did you get it from? Because I checked on most of the main online news sites there. Bruno thought for a moment. He didn't want to lie to Angela, but he couldn't give away any of the Dream League secret identities. Bella, Naomi, Harmony, Ivory, and Ebony looked nervously, wondering how they could get out of this without raising suspicion. Then Adrian says, I bet I know how he knows. Bruno gulped, and Naomi asked, You do? Adrian happily replied, Of course he do. It's so obvious. Give me a sec. He started digging in his backpack. The other girls got nervous, and Harmony whispered, If he knows our secret identities and tells her, they might expose us to the whole school. Bella thought for a moment and whispered, Maybe a little publicity wouldn't be so bad. I wouldn't say it wouldn't stay so little, said Ebony. Yeah, remember what Calvin said? Said Ivory, there can be disadvantages to that. Yeah, just ask Tony Stark. I am Iron Man. Next thing you know, he got villains coming at him in Iron Man 2 and 3. So don't get me started with the Mandarin. At that moment, Adrian pulled out a copy of the first 2 books, The Mysterious Adventures of Reality and Imagination, and said, "Hey, he probably knows from the ones in these books. Mrs. Douglas told us about them and how they helped the Dream League in New Orleans last week." Hmm. You mean during the Hero Convention, ex Naomi? Adrian nodded, and everybody else sighed in relief. Ooh. And let's see. So there's actually 10 chapters, but I'm just going to stop here because I think 5 and 10. Not sure now. Not sure exactly what the other chapters, but I know 5 and 10 are a little on the short side. So I think I could probably manage the rest of this book in a in the next live stream that I come back to this. Um, I might possibly. This is a maybe. Just all depends because I do got. I know I'm on vacation, everything from my day job, but there are some things. There's a few things I got to take care of. Some be personal business things that I got to take care of. So I might possibly be able to finish this tomorrow morning, or if not tomorrow morning, and probably either tomorrow night or Tuesday night. And the reason I say that because that's usually when I would do the weekly update. But since I've already done the weekly update, so I'm gonna so I would probably read the rest of this book on one of the nights in the place of it there. So yeah, yeah, like I said, probably so be looking for me either tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, or Tuesday night. And the reason, like I say, because morning I might have to take care of some. It all depends about taking care of some things that need to be taken care of, and the night as far as Monday or Tuesday, that depends. I would check with EJ to see whether or not he's live streaming Monday night or not. So yeah, so it depends on that. 'Cause that way we won't clash. Because obviously, if he live streams, more than likely I'm gonna be in there too to see what's going on and everything, and holler at him and everything. So yeah, don't want it to clash or anything. Yeah, so that way I can check it out there. Um, so it's either gonna be on one of those. If you're looking for me Monday morning, night, or Tuesday night, yeah, and we will, like I say, hopefully I can get it out. Hopefully I can do it Monday. So, but until then, we will see you then. And of course, y'all know Wednesday will be the Bible reading live stream. So that's gonna be as planned. And I will try to. I know any. I know I hadn't. I already dropped the last video that's been on Patreon, like that we didn't know about me and Christina being autistic there, as well as also having ADHD. So yeah, so like I say, we dropped that. So I will try to have some more. That's another thing. Yeah, I will try to have some more content, and also I got you know work some more on my book. So my fourth book, like I say, and hope try to get that done before this month is over. Like I say, because I have to go back and change some things as well as get the rest of it wrote there and some new ideals into it. That's one thing about it. Even when you plan a date for a certain book to be released, sometimes it can be a little late if your ideals start changing and stuff. So that's just my little message to any story writer. Just be advised. Sometimes the ideas that you get for a story can change there. So, and trust me, I being the books that I'm reading to you guys long before I even got to where I'm at now. Oh, believe me, I've been through several story ideas, and probably, prob I would say probably not in the same. I know I'm going to finish this book in the next live stream, but I probably before going to book 12, I'll probably have a live stream just talking about some of the ideals that would have possibly been book 11 before the actual published version now. Just to share that with you guys as well before going to 12, sort of add to the what if saga. So yeah, so there will be that coming up. So like I say, we'll definitely be doing more of that. Might even be since I'm on vacation, might possibly have possibly an extra stream or two just because of that. But until then, we'll let you know as time goes on. But until then, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Hit us up on that Patreon. Definitely get our available books. Oh yeah, and I said Patreon, just like Iceman Universe, and also support him and check out his stuff as well. All the stuff he got with Hey Arnold, Ed and Eddie, Courage, Spy Family, Naruto, and One Piece. Also, definitely like hang out with in the live streams. Also, hang out with us on Discord and Facebook, and then we can sell each other stuff on the Macari app. And all that said, we'll see y'all in Trying to get to that 1 hour 30 mark to make it even. We'll see y'all in the next live stream. Y'all take care, everybody. And peace out. And all that in a bag of chips. Just don't give them to Johnny Bravo.